Hi everyone! Today's art lesson is based on one of my favorite books, Charlotte's Web. So today we're going to be learning about the technique of paint resist, and I hope that you have lots of fun making your own Charlotte's Web. We're going to begin our web by drawing 8 diagonal, vertical and horizontal lines through the middle of our paper to create our spider web. You should end up with 8 sections. Now we're going to do the web in between. We're going to draw lines that we call concave lines. That means the lines dip in towards the middle of the web. Join each line to the next. Go round and round and round each section until you've completed the whole spider's web. Once you've drawn your spider's web in pencil, we're going to use a white oil pastel. If you wanted to, you could use grey or yellow, but whatever colour you choose, it needs to be light because we want our spider web to look fine and delicate. If you don't have oil pastel, you can also use wax crayon to do this. Once you've gone over all your lines, it's time to start painting. The way that we achieve what we call a resist effect is through the use of mixing oil with water. As you know, the two don't mix, so the paint will move away from the crayon or the oil pastel, leaving a nice clear line where we've drawn. The more watery your paint, the better it's going to work. So just test your paper and play a little bit with the amount of water that you're using until you're happy that you've got the right effect. Now for my project, I've decided to use blues and purples. Whatever colours you decide to do, they need to be fairly dark, because the darker the colours, the more the white crayon or oil pastel is going to stand out. You could decide to do a rainbow web and do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple and pink all the way around. But what you might find is that colours like yellow don't stand out perhaps as well as a colour like red would. You could also do a black background. Play around and test the different colours to see which you prefer. Now quite a fun thing to do is to use coarse sea salt on wet watercolour paints. By sprinkling the sea salt over the wet paint, it's going to absorb the water. And once the paint is dried and you remove the salt, you should get little spots of colour, which makes it just a little bit more interesting. You don't have to do this, but I thought that I'd show it to you so that if you chose to do it, you'd know what to do. Once you've sprinkled the salt onto your paper, then pop it into the sun to dry. Once it's dry, shake the salt off, and then you should be left with little spot effects all over your paper. If you choose not to do this, it's not going to take anything away from your finished product, so don't worry if you can't. Once your painting is dry, we're now ready to add our little spider. Now I'm going to use a black oil pastel to do this. You could choose to do it in another colour if you wanted to, but I think that the silhouette effect is quite striking. You can choose how big to make your spider and where to place your spider on the web. Remember to draw in all 8 legs that a spider has. Now just looking at my picture, I feel that the spider web could be a little bit more intricate. So using my white oil pastel again, I'm going to add in some extra spider web lines all the way around, just to make it that little bit more delicate. And there you have your Charlotte's Web inspired spider web. I hope that you've enjoyed this project. If you have, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Keep being creative.